Hi, my name is Shelby Kelly, and I am a MFA student in the creative writing program here at Full Sail University. And I'm excited to talk about my journey towards mastery and my own personal journey towards fulfilling my life's task, given the points you went over in the textbook this week. So first, I want to talk about kind of like what I want to be, where I ultimately want to become, and that is an author, a published author. It's been my dream since I was a child, and I'm finally realizing at this point in my life that I need to start taking steps towards fulfilling that goal. So let me go over really quick the five main strategies towards achieving your achieving mastery and fulfilling your life's tasks as denoted in the text. The first is returning to your origins. This is an easy thing for me to do because I'm naturally very nostalgic. Going back to my childhood, I always gravitated towards text and towards stories and writing. If everyone was like, be quiet, you can't talk today, like we have to study, we have to do this, you need to go to your room because you're on punishment, I would write things like all my feelings down because I couldn't stop, getting out those ideas. The second thing was occupying the perfect niche. I think that being a writer is like a perfect career for me because I tend to shy away from being responsible for large groups of people or being responsible for like a team or like a huge company. Like the idea of that like gives me a little bit more anxiety than the isolation that's kind of comforting to me that comes with being a writer. Being able to observe from the outside is kind of something that appeals to my personality, I feel like, more. The third, avoiding the false path. I've been kind of led astray a couple times with one of my other hobbies, which is baking. I'm a wedding cake decorator. That was my side hustle while I was an undergrad. And I do so much professional pastry that like I get more positive feedback for that sometimes than I do for my own stories. And so that would kind of lead me to think that I needed to be a pastry chef instead of actually being an author. And then ultimately I realized that that's not actually what would bring me fulfillment. It's just what was giving me that kind of extrinsic praise that I was looking for. Fourth thing, letting go of the past and adapting. This is something I really need to work on myself because I tend to dwell in the past and unfortunate circumstances that may have happened to me previously, and moving on and adapting to new circumstances and situations is something I really need to work on as I grow and continue down this journey towards my goal of mastery. And then finally, finding your way back, which is, I'm going to connect to my next point, sacrificing, having patience, and maintaining your focus. This is my turning point, I think, was what happened to me a few months ago while I was still a public school educator. I was teaching 10th grade English. My children, I had a great relationship with them, and I was learning a lot from the career and having a great time with my fellow educators and like getting to know each of the individual parts of being an English teacher and like what the ins and outs of it. But what I realized was I was crying at work every single day. I was unhappy with the direction my life was going. I was violently depressed, anxious all the time, and I didn't ever feel happy or comfortable or excited about going to work. And I'm like, if I want to work towards retirement, how can I do this for another 40 years? Just like going in and out of this classroom and like not feeling happy or at ease. So I ended up turning that around by applying to Full Sail, actually deciding I want to be immersed in art again. I want to create and write stories. I'm not able to do that if I'm constantly grading papers or giving feedback to my students. I want to have time for myself to work on my art, on this goal. And that was, I think, my major kind of, this is not what I need to be doing. So in terms of finding your way back, the text is saying that no good can ever come from deviating from the path that you are destined to follow. You will be assailed by varieties of hidden pain. You'll recognize how far you've deviated from the depth of your pain and frustration. And that, I feel like, was the most closely connected to that experience I had in the classroom. If it's attention we need, we often experience a kind of emptiness inside that we are hoping to fill with the false love of public approval. That was me deviating from baking, or deviating from writing to kind of bake and feel like that was like my path. And then finally, these childhood attractions are hard to put into words and are more like sensations, Robert Greene says. He says that of deep wonder, sensual pleasure, power, and heightened awareness. Those are the feelings I kind of feel the most, or I felt the most as a child connecting with text, and that I feel now when I'm creating a story or telling a story. That feeling, that attraction, I can't really compare to anything else. And so I think those 3 points connected the most severely with me in my personal journey. Finally, my dream career is, like I said before, being a published author. And organizationally, I'm not really good at that right now. Like, I'm not good at like meeting deadlines and making a schedule for myself and making time during my day to write in between all the other bill paying adulting things that I have to do. And so 2 goals I want to set for myself that I can complete in the next 3 weeks are: 1, logging a schedule in my planner every single week, like planning out day by day, hour by hour, what I need to be working on, and sticking to that. And secondly, I don't want to miss a single deadline in this course. I want to submit every assignment on time and not have to take any late penalty for any of my assignments. So hopefully I can continue to meet those goals throughout at least the depth of the duration of this course, and achieve success later on down the line with my bigger overarching goal of becoming a published author. Thank you so much.